Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel, where we dive deep into the latest twists and turns from Port Charles. Today, we're unpacking the high-stakes drama unfolding on Tuesday, September 9th, with Jason Morgan's daring rescue operation running into unexpected obstacles, the heartwarming discovery of missing Scout Quartermain, and Jack Brennan raising a critical alert that could change everything. Buckle up as we explore these riveting developments, complete with fresh insights and expanded details on the chaos gripping our favorite characters. Let's start with the tense atmosphere at Alexis Davis's home, where Ava Jerome finds herself on edge, her usual composure cracking under pressure. She's urgently conferring with Christina Corinthos Davis, insisting they tackle a brewing crisis head-on before it spirals out of control. Imagine Ava, with her sharp instincts honed from years of navigating Port Charles's underbelly, pacing the room as she outlines a plan to contain the fallout. This isn't just a minor hiccup, it's a full-blown emergency that could unravel alliances and expose hidden secrets. Christina, still reeling from her own recent traumas, might hesitate at first, but Ava's persuasive arguments drawn on their shared history of cervical cold pull her into the fray, adding to the intrigue. Whispers of a mysterious third party influencing events behind the scenes heighten the stakes, forcing Ava to improvise with clever diversions and quick thinking to protect what's at risk. Meanwhile, over at the Quartermain estate, Molly Lansing Davis finally responds to Cody Bell's frantic 911 alerts. After a barrage of missed calls and urgent texts, Cody, ever the reliable stable hand with a knack for stepping up in crises, has been desperately trying to reach her about a pressing matter. As Molly connects the dots over the phone, her voice laced with concern, she demands every detail. It turns out young Scout Quartermain has vanished from her summer camp adventure, sparking a wave of panic among her loved ones. But in a stroke of luck, Scout wanders right into the welcoming Quartermain stables, perhaps drawn by the familiar scent of hay and horses that remind her of home. Cody, with his gentle demeanor and quick reflexes, scoops her up, ensuring she's safe and sound, maybe even treating her to an impromptu pony ride to calm her nerves. While waiting for pickup, this act of kindness not only resolves the immediate scare, but also begins to mend the frayed edges of Cody's relationship with Molly, who had been distant after past misunderstandings. Picture Molly's relief washing over her as she realizes Cody's heroism, potentially leading to a heartfelt reconciliation that strengthens their bond. Amid the family's ongoing turmoil, at General Hospital itself, the worry escalates as Alexis Davis and Willow Tate huddle together, their minds racing with possibilities about Scout's whereabouts. The disappearance has left them both shaken, with Alexis drawing on her legal expertise to consider every angle, from potential foul play to simple childhood mischief. Willow, with her nurturing spirit amplified by her own experiences as a mother, might share stories of her kids' escapades to lighten the mood. Yet the underlying fear is palpable. They pore over maps of the camp area, speculating on trails Scout might have taken, perhaps even involving hospital staff in a makeshift search coordination. It won't be long before Molly's update call comes through, revealing Cody's discovery at the stables. This news could trigger a rush of emotions, tears of joy mixed with lingering anxiety, prompting Alexis to rally the family for a swift reunion. To flesh this out, envision Willow suggesting they prepare a comforting welcome for Scout, complete with her favorite snacks and toys, turning the ordeal into a teachable moment about safety and family unity. Shifting gears to the Port Charles Police Department, Anna Devane takes charge of a crucial investigation, zeroing in on prime suspects with the steadfast assistance of Harrison Chase and Dante Falconeri. In a dimly lit conference room buzzing with tension, Chase probes potential links between the case's players, his detective instincts picking up on subtle clues that others might overlook. Dante, with his street-smart edge, contributes by cross-referencing alibis and motives, perhaps uncovering a hidden network of alliances that ties back to old grudges in Port Charles. Anna, ever the seasoned operative, steers the discussion toward actionable leads, maybe introducing a new theory involving encrypted messages or shadowy informants. This collaborative effort not only advances the probe, but also highlights the team's dynamic chemistry, with moments of banter lightening the heavy atmosphere. As they connect the dots, the group might stumble upon evidence pointing to a larger conspiracy, adding layers of suspense that keep viewers on the edge of their seats. In Jack Brennan's sleek office, the drama intensifies as he confronts Colette Moreau, weapon in hand, hurling pointed threats and demanding the truth about her true allegiances. Colette, a picture of calculated poise despite the peril, attempts to broker a deal, perhaps offering insider intel on rival operations in exchange for her freedom. Brennan, fueled by his unyielding loyalty to the WSB, might waver briefly, weighing the risks of negotiation against the urgency of the situation, but his resolve hardens, leading to a frantic phone call where he bellows warnings about compromised agents, their cover shattered in a web of betrayal. His primary concern zeroes in on Vaughn and Josslyn Jax, fearing the worst that they might already be lost to the enemy's machinations. Yet, Brennan's determination shines through as he mobilizes resources, perhaps activating emergency protocols or calling in favors from old contacts, to orchestrate a rescue. To expand on this, imagine Brennan reflecting on past missions gone awry, using those lessons to fuel his strategy, turning what could be a defeat into a potential triumph. Speaking of Josslyn, she's not one to sit idly by at the luxurious yet treacherous Five Poppies resort. With her quick wit and fearless attitude, she corners a resort employee, questioning whether their paycheck is worth risking everything. She paints a vivid picture of WSB retaliation, implying dire consequences that could involve international fallout or personal vendettas. This manipulation tactic, born from Josslyn's resourceful nature, might involve subtle bribes or emotional appeals, drawing on her experiences with family crises to sway the worker. As tensions build, her efforts could create a crack in the resort's security, buying precious time for rescuers. Finally, Jason Morgan's mission reaches a pivotal moment inside the secretive lab, where he encounters Britt Westburn. With calm assurance, Jason promises he means no harm and pledges to extract her from the danger zone, his stoic demeanor masking the high risks involved. However, complications arise as explosive threats erupt, complicating the escape. Britt, perhaps sharing critical intel about Josslyn and Vaughn's dire predicament, may detailing their holding cells or guard patterns, adds urgency to the operation. Saving all three proves daunting, with Jason navigating booby-trapped corridors and evading reinforcements. Inventing a fresh twist, Jason might improvise with lab equipment, fashioning distractions like chemical smokescreens to aid their getaway. General Hospital spoilers hint at even more surprises at the Five Poppies resort, promising a whirlwind of action and revelations that will leave fans eagerly awaiting the next episode. Next, we will dive into the turbulent romance brewing between WSB Chief Jack Brennan and the ever-resilient Carly Spencer, where secrets and suspicions are pushing their connection to the brink. In the bustling world of Port Charles, where alliances shift like the tides, Jack Brennan's relationship with Carly Spencer is facing its most perilous storm yet. Whispers from the latest leak suggest that Jack's deliberate inaction regarding the whereabouts of Josslyn Jax and her partner Vaughn is casting long shadows over their budding romance. Picture this: Joss and Vaughn, deep in an undercover mission that's gone eerily quiet, with no check-ins or signals to confirm their safety. Enter Colette Moreau, a sharp-eyed operative who's sounding the alarm, urging Jack to launch an immediate probe into their silence. But Jack, with a steely resolve that borders on stubbornness, brushes off her pleas, maintaining that the duo is simply operating under strict radio blackout protocols, and everything is under control. Yet, his eyes betray a flicker of doubt, hinting at deeper worries he's not ready to voice. This isn't just a minor oversight, it's a red flag waving wildly in the wind, especially when you consider Jack's history of calculated moves. Fans are buzzing with theories that Jack's hesitation stems from a fear of unraveling his carefully woven web of secrets. Imagine the fallout if word gets out that Joss might be in real jeopardy. It could expose Jack's covert recruitment of Carly's daughter into the WSB's dangerous fold, all without a whisper to her protective mother. For weeks, viewers have speculated that this hidden enlistment would be the spark to ignite Carly's fury. But now, Jack's apparent willingness to let Joss dangle in uncertainty feels like a far graver sin. What if this neglect leads to tragedy? Could it be the ultimate betrayal that snaps the fragile thread holding Jack and Carly together? Adding to the intrigue, invented elements like a cryptic message Vaughn allegedly sent weeks ago lost in the ether only amplify the tension, making Jack's denial seem all the more precarious. Delving deeper into Jack's unyielding stance, it's clear his dismissal of Colette's warnings is more than just bureaucratic red tape. It's a calculated dance of avoidance that's rippling through the storyline like a shockwave. He knows full well that prolonged silence from agents in the field often signals disaster, perhaps a compromised safe house or an enemy closing in but admitting that would force him to confront the consequences head-on. Instead, Jack clings to the narrative that Joss and Vaughn are thriving in their covert roles, buying himself precious time in hopes that the crisis fizzles out on its own. This tactic, while clever in the short term, reeks of self-preservation over genuine concern. Speculators among the fanbase point to Jack's underlying terror. Revealing the truth would shine a harsh light on how he coerced Joss into this high-stakes game, pulling strings behind Carly's back to mold her daughter into a WSB asset. Invent a scenario where Jack recalls a past mission gone wrong, one that cost him a close ally, and you can see why his paralysis at this fear is manifesting as negligence, prioritizing his romantic stability over the safety of those under his command. If Joss's situation spirals into something dire, like a capture by shadowy adversaries in Croatia, Jack's image as a protective leader crumbles, replaced by one of a man who let ego cloud his judgment. The added detail of Vaughn's reputation as a seasoned operative, known for his impeccable track record, only heightens the oddity of their mutual disappearance, making Jack's inaction feel like a deliberate blind eye. This isn't just about operational protocol. It's a personal gamble that could paint Jack as the villain in Carly's eyes, transforming their passionate affair into a battlefield of broken trust. As the plot thickens, Carly Spencer's breaking point looms larger than ever, with fans eagerly anticipating how she'll react to the layers of deception piling up. For months, the soap opera community has predicted that the revelation of Jack's sneaky maneuver to recruit Joss would be the death knell for their relationship. But there's a twist in the air. Forgiveness might not be out of reach if Joss herself steps forward, beaming with excitement about her new life as a secret agent. Imagine Joss returning triumphant, declaring that the thrill of espionage suits her fiery spirit, and that the need for absolute secrecy was part of the deal. Carly, with her storied past of bending rules for loved ones, think of her fierce loyalty during family crisis schooled potentially swallow her pride and grant Jack a pass, viewing it as a necessary evil in their chaotic world. However, the real fracture emerges from Jack's current failure to disclose the escalating dangers Joss faces abroad, allowing her to languish in potential peril while he feigns ignorance. This isn't mere omission, it's a reckless endangerment that could result in Joss's demise, all because Jack won't pull the plug on the operation or loop in Carly. To flesh this out, invent a subplot where Carly overhears whispers of Joss's involvement in a high-risk artifact smuggling ring tied to the Five Poppies syndicate, amplifying her maternal instincts to a boiling point. Compounding this is Carly's fresh wounds from Drew Kane's shocking transformation, where the man she once trusted revealed a darker side, leaving her reeling from betrayal. In this light, Jack's actions mirror that pain, turning secrecy into outright treachery. If Carly connects these dots, seeing Jack's silence as a direct threat to her daughter's life rather than protective discretion, the fallout could be explosive. Erupts a confrontation in the heart of Port Charles that echoes through the episodes. Looking ahead, the question of Jack Brennan's ultimate fate hangs in the balance. Will this lead to his downfall? Or is there a path to redemption that could save his bond with Carly? Should his stubborn neglect culminate in harm befalling Josslyn, a dramatic rescue gone awry that leaves her scared, Carly's forgiveness would seem impossible, her rage fueled by the notion that Jack sacrificed her child for his own ego and career ambitions. The streets of Port Charles might witness a heartbroken Carly severing ties, branding Jack as irredeemable in her eyes. Yet, there's a glimmer of hope if Jack shifts gears swiftly, confessing everything to Carly and enlisting heavy hitters like Jason Morgan to orchestrate a daring extraction. This proactive turn could reframe him as a flawed but redeemable hero, proving his love through action rather than evasion. Fans are split in heated debate. Some argue the initial recruitment alone is unforgivable, a breach of boundaries that no apology can mend, while others believe this current crisis represents a bridge too far, pushing Carly beyond her limits. To expand on this, imagine an invented alliance where Colette secretly tips off Jason, forcing Jack's hand and adding layers of intrigue to the redemption arc, with the perils surrounding Joss's Five Poppies entanglement intensifying rumors of double agents and hidden agenda swirling. Jack's impending decision could reshape not just his romance, but his standing in the WSB and the entire General Hospital universe. It's a high-stakes gamble that keeps viewers on the edge of their seats, pondering the fragility of trust in a world of spies and secrets. What do you think, loyal fans? Will Jack's pattern of avoidance ultimately cost him Carly's heart, or can he pull off a miraculous save to mend the cracks in their relationship? Next, we will dive deep into the escalating drama unfolding in Croatia, where the stakes are sky-high for our beloved characters. In the shadowy underbelly of a Croatian hideout shrouded in mystery, the atmosphere is charged with suspense thicker than the densest mist rolling off the Adriatic Sea. Britt Westburn, ever the enigmatic doctor with a complicated past, makes a daring return to the dimly lit basement chamber where Josslyn Joss Jacks and her unexpected companion Vaughn are being held against their will. This isn't just any captivity, it's a web of intrigue spun by shadowy figures who seem to control every exit. Britt, moving with the stealth of someone who's danced on the edge of danger before, slips into the room under the cover of flickering fluorescent lights. She doesn't waste a moment, quietly assessing their restraints and providing them with a makeshift set of tools, a concealed pocket knife and a length of wire, perhaps scavenged from the hotel's maintenance supplies to free themselves from the tight ropes binding their wrists and ankles. Her voice, low and urgent, encourages them to take charge of their own liberation, whispering words of empowerment that echo her own history of resilience. But the real twist comes when she pulls out the burner phone left behind by Jason Morgan, that stoic guardian angel of Port Charles, and dials his number herself. It's a bold move, one that could ignite a rescue operation, yet she stops short of committing fully. Viewers are left pondering this calculated pause. Why not orchestrate the entire escape? Britt's track record of putting everything on the line for Joss, from shielding her during chaotic family feuds back home to navigating the treacherous waters of Port Charles' underworld, makes this moment all the more baffling. Could it be a deep-seated instinct for survival kicking in? Or does she possess insider knowledge that fleeing the infamous Five Poppies compound is akin to walking into a lion's den blindfolded? Adding to the intrigue, rumors swirl that the compound itself is a fortress disguised as a luxury hotel, complete with hidden surveillance cameras and reinforced doors that lock from the outside, making any unauthorized exit a perilous gamble. Britt's brief intervention, while providing Joss and Vaughn with a glimmer of hope, highlights her uncharacteristic restraint, leaving fans to dissect her motives like detectives on a cold case. She darts in for a quick status check, ensuring they're unharmed amid the damp, echoing confines of their prison, but pulls back before crossing the point of no return. This half-hearted heroism screams of caution, perhaps born from the bone-chilling awareness of the hotel's lethal undercurrents. Pascal, the enigmatic overseer with a reputation for ruthless efficiency, maintains an ironclad control over the premises, his presence felt in every shadowed corridor and locked gate. Then there's Jan Sidwell, whose far-reaching influence extends like tentacles across international borders, turning potential allies into liabilities overnight. A full-scale rescue attempt under their watchful eyes would be nothing short of suicidal, potentially triggering alarms, armed guards, and countermeasures that could end in tragedy. By opting to contact Jason and equipping the captives with the means to break free on their own, Britt cleverly buys precious time, without escalating her own visibility as a target. It's a strategic play, one that allows her to contribute without fully exposing herself to the crossfire. Speculation abounds that Britt's own precarious situation bound to this location, for secretive medical procedures involving experimental lab work that might tie into her lingering health battle severely curtails her ability to act freely. One misstep, like smuggling the pair out under the noses of their captors, could unravel everything, costing her not just freedom but possibly her life. How many times has she thrown caution to the wind for Joss's sake, only to face near-fatal repercussions? This time, her actions suggest a hard-learned lesson in balancing altruism with self-protection, weaving in new layers of tension as fans wonder if her calculated distance will prove to be the key to survival or a fatal oversight. Delving deeper into the heart of Britt's dilemma, General Hospital spoilers hint that this could be a potent mix of emotional turmoil and stark realism clashing in real time. Her reluctance isn't just tactical. It might be rooted in the raw undercurrents of her personal feelings, especially after Jason's tantalizing proposition to spirit her away from this nightmare. That offer, delivered with his trademark intensity, likely stirred long-buried emotions, perhaps a flicker of hope for a life beyond the chaos, or unresolved affections from their tangled history in Port Charles. Yet, an invisible chain of loyalty to her enigmatic keeper, possibly a figure from her past medical entanglements, or the sheer terror of brutal reprisals, keeps her anchored in place. Alternatively, is this Britt embracing a dose of harsh reality? She's no stranger to the Five Poppies' impenetrable defenses. Think reinforced steel barriers, motion sensor traps, and a network of informants that make evasion a pipe dream. In her mind, Joss and Vaughn's chances of slipping away undetected might be slim to none, prompting her to choose subtle support over a reckless, all-out assault that could doom them all. Her decision to alert Josslyn via that clandestine call demonstrates she's far from abandoning ship. It's a lifeline tossed into turbulent waters, allowing the captives to attempt self-rescue, while she maintains a veneer of plausible deniability. This approach feels like a measured compromise, but it raises eyebrows given Britt's storied past of monumental sacrifices, such as the time she heroically intervened to protect Joss from the deranged machinations of Heather Weber, risking her own safety in a blaze of defiance. That event, etched in the annals of Port Charles lore, involved Britt outsmarting a web of deceit and violence, emerging scarred but victorious. Now, her current wariness stands in stark contrast, possibly an evolution from those brush-with-death experiences, teaching her that survival sometimes demands subtlety over spectacle. By empowering Joss and Vaughn with the tools for their own breakout, and summoning Josslyn without diving headfirst into the fray, Britt minimizes her direct exposure, a move that could shield her from immediate fallout if their escape bid crumbles under the weight of the compound's security perhaps. Thwarted by hidden patrols or electronic lockdown, she avoids being painted as the primary instigator, preserving her fragile position. On the flip side, should they succeed against the odds, Britt emerges as the shadowy architect of their freedom, an unsung pillar in the narrative without the glory or the peril. Yet, devoted fans are voicing frustration, questioning why she wouldn't commit fully, especially considering whispers of her ongoing terminal illness that add a ticking clock to her every decision. It begs the question, in a world where every choice carries life-altering consequences, is this restraint a sign of weakness or wisdom? Britt appears caught in a whirlwind of conflicting impulses, self-preservation battling against her innate heroic streak, but with Josslyn racing toward the scene, armed with his unyielding determination and an arsenal of skills honed from years. As a mob enforcer turned protector, her indirect strategy might just tip the scales toward triumph. Imagine the potential showdown: Josslyn infiltrating the Five Poppies, navigating booby-trapped halls and outmaneuvering guards, all sparked by Britt's pivotal call. Will her decision to hold back ultimately sabotage the rescue, leaving Joss and Vaughn in greater peril, or will it reveal itself as a stroke of genius, allowing for a coordinated effort that catches the captors off guard? As the plot thickens in Croatia, one thing is certain: Britt's layered choices are fueling endless speculation, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats for the next explosive revelation in this gripping saga.